The final push of TYLER1's career trip is happening as we speak. The man has been averaging 15-hour days playing this game in the same small, tiny hotel room for almost a month straight. Today, jumping onto the rift, talking about his trip, and if he's going to be able to reach challenges, only a few days left of this final climb, if he's going to fail ultimately to reach the highest rank. Let's jump onto the rift and break this journey down. Jumping into the game now. I'm going to show his total stats in the top right, guys. You can see his best roles have been jungle and top lane, surprisingly. A lot of people thought, you know, maybe his support, maybe his AD carry Draven was going to carry him across the line. But this jungle role, playing things like Ivan, Jarvan, been playing a little bit of Wukong lately, has been really paying dividends. But the entire trip, he's been hovering between D1 and low masters. It's been a really rough stint for him. He's been playing average like 16-hour days, and then he just sleeps, goes to the gym, and then
Nice right there.
he just sleeps, and then he just plays again until he's so tired where he can't look, and then he sleeps, and then gyms, and then, oh man. He has played almost as many games as me in half the time. In 30 days, he's played as much as I did in 60 days. Which is so ridiculous because I've been playing a shit ton of League. Enough for me to, my eyes like hurt. I get eye strain and all this crap.
Obvious, I don't think.
Like I've been playing on this entire trip way more, like more than 10 games a day, averaging like 15 a day or something like that. He's been averaging like 25 or something disgusting. It's so crazy what he does to himself. Like he's hard stuck and he's getting target inted and all that type of stuff, but like sure that's an issue, but I think he would have done a lot better. And I say this to everyone if you're looking to climb. And obviously he can't because he's a streamer, he's got to do certain hours. But dude, if you play in blocks of 3, blocks of 5, where you give 100% concentration, and then after you lose a couple or something happens, you take a couple of hours off and come back to it. Oh, bro, you will do numbers in your games. Tyler does the opposite. Plays 20 hours straight. He's not playing this game at 100% focus. And it's a shame, but that's just who he is. He's a grinder. He's a proper gamer. As this Jarvan game is not going well. Mid lane soloed. No, mid lane got ganked. Top lane got soloed. And now he's tracked by Lee Sin.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
What?
FF.
This is what career feels like. You get behind a couple of lanes early, it just feels like it should be an open game and you just don't want to try. It's so frustrating because players like this Silas will just keep dying. And it's so hard to recoup a lot of the times. And it's crazy how people think
So autopiloted, like
Korea or Chinese super server or this server is better, and like in a perfect world, like people would always think the grass is always greener somewhere else. If you play on NA, if you play in EUS, you're like, damn, the grass is always greener. If this wouldn't happen in Korea, this wouldn't happen in like on super server. Trust me, guys, there's problems with every single server. You need to appreciate what you've got. The only person that can complain is me, because I'm from Oceania, and we have 12 players. And they're not very good. So unless you're me, don't complain. Appreciate what you... Go AFK. Appreciate what you got, where you're from, brother. You can make solo queue work. Stop complaining. But Tyler has been broken by this server. I have been broken by this server, and he's doubly broken because he's played double the games. Right? I can't even think. Like, I feel so bad for the guy. Because I've had dark days where I'm losing all my games, getting inted, and I get very angry. And I'm not a very angry guy, you guys know. So I feel for Tyler. I want to give him a big hug. Just a big manly embrace. Nothing sus. But just embrace, you know? I've been through what you've been through, my friend. I know. Break out in tears. It will happen. Potentially. So for those that don't know, Tyler's got 2 days left, I think, in his trip. He just got kicked out of my hotel. He's been staying here for the last month. And he's in a new hotel for the next 2 days until he goes home. He's grinding. He needs to win 30 games straight for Challenger. 30 games straight in 2 days, 48 hours. It's possible, isn't it? A game takes 25 minutes average hit.
It's like, I swear to God, as soon as I hit gap.
And if he does hit it, I have to shave all my hair off.
Like I sit there, I wait.
But I just don't think it's possible.
Hit camp.
With his mental, with these games, I don't think it's possible, chat.
Every time.
Oh my god. Leave the game. He's talking to the Silas. Just leave the game. And bro, he has been a little bit more toxic on this trip. A couple of spicy little flame words. A little bit like too many. I mean, Riot Korea don't seem to give a single shit about some of the players in this trip, which I respect. It seems like they know there's a problem on the Korean server with toxicity, and then instead of trying to address the problem, they're like, it's ruined. Let's just
That guy understands what
it's toxic. There's nothing we can do about it. It is what it is. And I feel like they're just not punishing anybody. Blade,
pinged him, then I pinged
only person that I think that got punished was Yamato's death.
AFK too, actually, bro.
And even then, I don't really know. Pretty hard to get banned here. And a lot of the players should be banned here. Every day there's a new insult about my mother. As this fight should not happen. He's 2 levels down on the Lee Sin against a Katarina. And these fights is what's wrong with Korea. You're so far down, but they have the ego that they need to fight everything. So instead of scaling with Senna, they force these type of fights. Always. And if you don't fight here, they'll fight anyway and flame you in AFK. This is the biggest frustration for Korea, and everyone will complain, say Korea's worst server because of this type of stuff. They're just down to contest everything. They just want to fight, fight, fight. It's dumb, but they're not here to play smart. They're not here to play slow. They're on paid time. So you see there, and this is why people say the Korean server is so bad because of this type of stuff. It's just frustrating as well. Jung Diff, 1v1. Leave. And then this shit just spirals. What a server. Chat off, pings off, and this server's playable. But if you played pings on, chat on, oh, I can't bear it. I don't know how Tyler's played with chat this whole time.
Level 4, yeah, I can't.
I bet he can't wait to go back to NA. Nice relaxing games. I'll be NA. So I've got 10 days left of my trip, guys. Unfortunately, I didn't quite hit Challenger. I've let you guys down. Grandmaster 400 points. Not a bad peak. It's my highest peak ever in Korea. Previous was 350 points Grandmaster. So I'm happy with the trip. Got a verse Faker. Beat him. Challenger is still on my cards. And I'm not giving up this game until I hit Challenger careers. So I think we're going to have to be back. Not sure when though, because I'm really grinded out and burnt out from this game. And didn't get to play as much on the super server as I wanted to. Silas, spam ping him. Leave. There you go. Silas does the Twisted Fate Graves emote. A little hug. Very nice. And coming away from this trip, I'm honestly... I have a higher opinion of Tyler than I did coming in as a player. I thought he was going to peak like maybe Master Tier, like low Master Tier, but he peaked like 300 points. And he's been hovering D1 low Masters the entire trip. Which to me is actually pretty impressive considering how many games he's playing, how he's playing Phil, and how tilted he is for 99% of his time here. Also the food. Bro, he just orders, like, he doesn't eat, like, healthy, proper meals, and doesn't really go outside. He just goes to the gym every now and then plays. Like,
At least I gave him a nice leash.
I don't know how you can function, like, at a high level in League of Legends like that. I can't do it. But yeah, I got to hang out with the Team Liquid players yesterday, like Bjergsen and Bwipo and stuff, and talk to them a little bit about the server.
Probably not go Gore Drinker, but I think
They're enjoying it. They know what it's like down a Master Tier. I think some of them are quite high already, so like they skip past this mess.
I really shouldn't. I should just sell all these items.
Don't sell. It's gonna be really bad buyback. But the server really becomes enjoyable or more steady around 600-700 LP, which used to be the old like 300 to 400 LP. Just because of LP inflation, you got to go way higher up to get the good games. Otherwise, you get this Master Tier mess and slop that I'm in and Tyler's in ultimately. It makes the snipers much easier to find you, right? So a lot of the snipers can't hit Challenger. They're mostly pros. But a lot of them can hit this low Master Tier at Diamond 1 and snipe him out. That just means queuing up and then inting in his games for a little bit of attention. Once you get too high for the regular players to get, they can't do it. And I think enemy Sedge is 10 CS per minute. Kind of rough. Solid shootout scale though. As he sells items, he's going to go 10. Oh my god. Whatever. Oh, you got to pray this game goes late now. FF. I mean, Tyler's always been like this, I guess, with his chat. And you got to feel for the guy. He came here with one goal in mind, Challenger, and he's not able to quite get it. And it's not for a lack of trying. That's a damn shot. And I'm wondering if he'll ever come back.
First, it doesn't matter. I'm not playing to win this one from level 1. It doesn't matter if she moves or not, whether they die or not.
He has been talking pretty badly about the server the whole time. Like, I'd be surprised if he comes back to Korea for a trip. But he's not the type of guy to give up on a goal, so I don't know. Maybe he will come back. Please don't die again, Silas. Nice. Nice, Silas. Winnable. Bot lane gank comes through. Probably should finish the Nautilus. Beautiful. Good kick.
Did not. Run back. Surely my winner's queue isn't this strong. Surely, right? There's no way.
He's on a 4-game winning streak as of this video. And I'll post this in a couple hours. So maybe if his win streak keeps going, I might start getting a little bit nervous. Last wind. Last breath. What do you call it? The Silas with the pride emotes. Happy Pride Month, guys. Very cool. Thank you, Riot Games.
80 junglers I play are fucking Arvid, which he's not very good, and then Wukong, which is broken.
He should play more Wukong. Wukong is like the most broken jung right now.
I don't mind playing.
It's so good, man. I hate it.
Arthas, but
why did he? I wonder why he stopped playing so much Ivan. He hard smurf with Ivan for a while, and then he got to high elo and just stopped playing it. I'm guessing just the matchups are unplayable in high elo because they just perma invade you or something. Like I don't ever see I don't ever see Ivans in my high elo games. Not high elo, master tier games. If you want to call that high elo, you can. I'm interested to see what rank I get when I go to NA. I'm going to NA after this, and then I go to EU. It's going to be good to compare my peaks on each server to see really what the differences are. It's not easy to gauge because metas shift, obviously. Like, Talia got changed for me and some other champions got nerfed. I play like Zoe, but...
Play Lee, your Lee's clean.
We'll see.
Might be right.
But man...
My Lee was career ready, then I played him one game on...
I don't want to see your Lee Sin, bro. Please do not start bringing that out.
I got nerfed, and I hated it. I could feel the nerf. You're right, bro. I'm not that good at Kindred.
And what do you reckon? Has he improved on this trip or not? I think his mechanics look slightly better than his first week, but... I think when you play in Korea too much at this elo, your macro actually goes down. I have felt like my macro has decreased, but my laning has increased so much. Like, whenever I come to Korea, my laning improves so much because they contest everything. As we might get a good fight here. Nice little ultimate. Kali picks up 2. Senna, beautiful kiting.
Oh,
Katarina
no,
should be able to escape. Ah.
If I held that Q, I could have
Yeah.
killed her. God damn it.
That would have been massive. Pick up the dragon, scale with the Senna though. Kali with the Rift Maker. I think they're going to be fine.
If I would have queued right away, she dies. Senna doesn't die.
Okay, another ARAM fight. This is in Korea. There's no side laning in this elo. It's perma ARAM. That's why champions like Katarina do so well. Senna's doing some good kiting. They can pill for a oh no, she gets CC'd up. They bring the Nort.
R would have fucking made me sick. Look at Genzin.
I'm carry machine.
carry
King is
machine.
back.
King is back.
It's the only guy on Tyler's friend list on this trip. Some intel that he added.
Go, bro. Let's go. Genzin's hype as fuck. I think it might be tough.
I don't think it's going to be good for him late game. I want to see how he plays it. He has to just
Back, baby.
permanently wait for the Katarina dashes and then CC her. Might be a little bit hard though. But yeah, I wonder if a lot of you guys, like, what has your opinion, has your opinions changed of the Korean server after watching all these streamers come here and play? Like, I don't know if a lot of you guys have watched my previous trips or anyone's Korea trips, but I'm wondering after watching all these Korea players, like, if you now think differently of the Korean server. I see a lot of commenters on Reddit and stuff saying, oh, I've completely changed my idea of what the best server is and all this type of stuff, but for me, it's always been like this, by the way. The server relatively hasn't changed. Been coming here for, what, 4 or 5 years now. I think it's the worst it's ever been, but it's still the same premise, right?
It's kind of fucking crazy.
I mean, the game's looking pretty one from here. I think their team comp is much better. As long as they get CC off in the Katarina, the Sylas should be able to steal away the Sedge ult. Send a Tom Peel. It should be free. I've always said, I think EU West is the best server to play on.
Bro, like, compare these, like, last 3 games. I'm literally, like, on autopilot, not doing anything, and I just win. Compare that to me, like, how bad I was sweat before.
Love the build. Just permanent engage build. You get tanky, chem tank, and then you just hourglass CC and wait. I know a lot of people don't like this. I know it's like a lot of analysts don't like it, but it feels good to have on your team if you want someone just brainlessly engage for you, which a lot of time in Korea, just you're waiting for somebody to engage and then you go. So if you get some brainless engaged Jarvan player, perfect. Nice job. Don't waste the ultimate. Can hold it for this bad boy. Force the ult. Make our way out. Don't need a stopwatch. Nice. I like it. Unfortunately, Akali did go down. Look at Tyler just stands there. He doesn't posture with movement. He just stands still. Oh, alpha. But ultimately, probably not the best. In my opinion, the best player is always moving back and forth posturing, so you don't know what they're doing. But maybe in his head, he's fake DCing and trying to bait something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in the mind of Tyler. I don't think Tyler knows what's going on in the mind of Tyler. Especially when you play 25 games a day. Like, it's hard to... This might sound weird, but like, it's hard to explain to people who don't stream this game Like, so a lot of normal players who play like 4 or 5 games after work, they're like, yeah, I get it. It's mentally draining. But bro, streaming just adds another bit of like mental drain because you're actively always on. Plus you're playing the game focusing. 25 games, man. Like, this shit is so draining. It's so hard to explain to someone that doesn't do it. Like, oh, you play video games all day. It's so easy. It's easy physically, yes, but mentally, bro, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I could have pressed stopwatch right away. I didn't expect this flash, though.
This team actually didn't do too badly off that fight. If they keep focusing him up, this is fine.
I don't care. You do not understand. I'm playing with no brain.
I can tell. I can tell. I know people think that me and Tyler have banter, but like, dude, I support the guy. I like to meme and throw banter and call him shit and all that type of stuff, but like, dude, he sweats for it. I'd love to see him hit Challenger. I really would. No, I'd like to see him get 1 game off Challenger just to save my hair. But it does pain me watching it. It does pain him watching, like, him go through this ordeal on the server. And it's going to be funny, dude, because end of year Worlds, remember, is in America. Worlds is going to be in America, which means Faker, Showmaker, Chovy, all these big name players are going to come across to the NA solo queue and play. It's going to be hilarious, man, what happens to that server. Because people meme and stuff and say Korea, like, not as good at it anymore, but if you have mechanics like these top tier players have, it doesn't matter how bad your macro is if you play macro. If you're mechanically good enough to go 100-0, you go 100-0 and you win. So whilst a lot of these Koreans don't play macro, their mechanics are so good, they will just 1v9 against mid-tier micro players, and the macro doesn't matter at that point. You just run down mid, take over the game. Simple as that. And that's fun. That's why they do it.
Akali actually needs to go top and push.
Playing slow side lanes, waiting for split pushes and all this crap. Boring, man. You see? You can't fix your waves. You can't shove a side lane wave. It's ARAM, baby. Let's go. Nautilus runs really... Like, that Nautilus is hardcore inting. That should be in a free Nash. Turn, turn, turn. Oh. This... I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. So they want to contest. Tyler wants to turn. He's typed it. Lee Sin knows. They get the pick on the cat, which is massive. And Tyler might just look for the engage here. He has stopwatch. I think it's definitely better than flipping over on this against Lee. Goes in, knocks the Lee Sin up. Still could. Hits the ultimate. They get the Sedge. Gets the Lee. They'll get the Nash hit. And the enemy team FFs the game.
Fucking winner's queue. Say that much.
Jung Gap. There you go. Little bit of positivity. It's crazy how fast these players turn. Like, I had a game the other day, someone's like, hey, your mom died. And then you win the game and he adds you. He says, I love you. You're my best friend. It's like, geez. They just care about LP, brother. And that, I think this game brings them to 150-ish points.
Rank 1, here we come. Fuck Challenger.
Okay, let's not go crazy.
Fuck Challenger.
600. He needs 600 more points, guys. That's 30 games straight. That's it for today, guys. I mean, if he does something crazy and gets Chal, I'll do another video. But if not, this is probably going to be the last video of Tyler in Korea. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And obviously, hopefully you've, enjoyed his streams. I'll put a link to his stream in the description, guys, if you want to go check out his last few hours on the server. But until next time, boys, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.